In this video, you are going to learn how to create these 3D characters inspired by a recent Cipher video. You are going to learn how to make the base with AI, give it some effects in Blender so it looks original, and as a bonus, you will learn how to make this cool material transition they did on the intro. Without further ado, let's start. So the first thing you have to do is go to the link in the description and go to Gemini. Here's where we are going to create an image, and then from that image we are going to make a 3D model. So here I made a little bit of a prompt. It says make a realistic character with a nice elegant suit, adjusting his watch while looking slightly off camera against a white background, studio lighting, eye level, full body. The first part of the prompt is where you describe your character. The second part of the prompt is where you describe the pose of the character, and then this is pretty important, it has to be against a white background, studio lighting, eye level, full body for the next steps to work. I asked the editor of Cipher and he did this step by generating the character already posed instead of posing it himself with the 3D software, but some parts of the documentary have them animated, so I'm also going to show you how you can do that. But the basic workflow is this: you just have to make your prompt just like this, and then here in Tools, go to Create Images, and then submit. Okay, now it's done and it's looking great. We can keep going with the process, but I'm going to do an extra step in case you want to animate this character with keyframes or you want to paste some motion capture you did. And if you don't know how to animate characters in Blender with motion capture or keyframes, I have an entire section in my course about character animation specifically for these documentary style videos like the ones Cipher does. Here you have AI mocap or animating with Blender, and you also have other options. This is inside my community render room, and if you want access to it, you just have to go to the first link in the description. Now, to animate this, basically what you have to do is ask Gemini to make the same character but with a T-pose. So let's do that. Here I made another prompt, make another image of the same character, but this time in the T-pose. So now you submit it. Okay, Gemini can make mistakes. In this case, it's cutting the fingers of the character. So here I'm going to make another prompt, zoom out the image a little bit so the hands don't get cut. And now submit. So here he changed the character a little bit, but I guess it's not a problem for our workflow. So now what you have to do is just download both images, so the first one and here the second one. So now what you have to do is go to the link in the description and go to the Meshi AI website, create an account, and you will have a free trial. In my case, I paid for the Pro plan because I wanted to have the latest 3D generation tool, but I guess the other ones are also pretty good. So now what you have to do is go to Image to 3D right here. And as you can see, this is the first character I did, and this is the one you saw on the intro and the one you saw on the thumbnail. But now you just have to import your image made with Gemini. So first I'm going to import the post one, and now if you're in the free trial, you're going to use Meshi 4, but in my case I'm using Meshi 6 because I'm in the Pro plan. But don't worry, I guess you can still get pretty good results with Meshi 4. I used it for another project, for the Magnets Media project I did recently, and it worked fine. I made a video on the Magnets Media project covering the entire thing, but here in my community in the exclusive tutorials section, I also added all these breakdowns right here, teaching specific techniques about that project in particular. So if you want to get access to this, just go to the link in the description and let's keep going with the tutorial. So here you also have the option to make the character in the A or T pose, but I guess the best approach here is to actually first generate the T-pose image and then let the AI do the work. I guess that way it's going to be a little bit easier and it will give better results. But yeah, I haven't experimented with this actually. Then here you have a name, and we don't really care about the name. And then the license, if you're going to share this asset, you can select this license right here, which is the Creative Commons license. But if you are just going to use it yourself, you can select private. Either way, you are going to distort the model at the end. So I guess it doesn't matter which license you choose. Then symmetry, I always leave it at auto, and then let's go to generate. So here you have the final model. As you can see, it has some mistakes, but yeah, I guess it doesn't matter because still we are going to, distort the model at the end. So now this is pretty good. You have the option to do some free retries. I guess that's only possible in the Pro plan. You can also remesh this if you want to make this a quad mesh, but in this case we don't need that. And you can also texture this, but again, we don't need that. So you can just go here to download, and then I recommend you to resize this because right now this entire model is like 10 meters. And if you are going to import it to Blender, that will be like a giant thing. So last time I did this, I just set this to centimeters. And then I just selected 180 centimeters. If you understand inches or foot better, that's fine. In my case, I just use centimeters. And then you can select if the origin point is going to be on the center of the model or the bottom of the model. I recommend to leave it on the bottom. And then the format, you have a lot of formats. I just selected FBX and then just click here on download. Now, before going to Blender and make the other adjustments, I'm going to show you how you can do the workflow for animation. So in this case, let's delete this image right here and add the T-pose character. Let's keep everything normal here and then just click on generate. So here is the character. And right now you can remesh the character. If you are going to do this in a Cipher style, I don't recommend that because you are going to decimate the geometry anyways. But if you want to keep all the details from the original model, yes, you have to remesh. And you can select high quality right here and then quad mesh and then confirm. But in my case, I don't want to do that. The thing you actually want to do is rig the character right here. And now let's select humanoid here and next. This is already good. Let's click on next. And I guess the rest is okay. So now let's click on confirm. Okay, so here as you can see, we have a problem, which is that I already saw this coming. As you can see, the legs are super close, so all this geometry is connected right here. So let's try to rework this. Let's go again to Gemini and ask for an image with the legs spread apart a little bit more. So I think it went like overboard with it, but let's try it. Okay, now it's a little bit better, but it's super spread apart. Yeah, at the end it's just a matter of experimenting and seeing what works. I guess I could try changing the model or making a better image or something like that. But yeah, this is a workflow if you want to actually have a rig and then import that into Blender and give it some type of animation. So yeah, now in Blender, you just have to drag and drop your character right here without animation and import FX. And right now it's like this. Now to give it the effects that Cipher added on their documentary, what you have to do is go to modifiers and then add a modifier and then add a decimate modifier. And now you want something like 0.05. And as you can see, it's giving this triangulated look. It will look better if you shade flat. Now it looks something like this. And if you want, you can even lower this a little bit more. So 0.025, I think is what I did. Yeah, this is pretty much what I did for the thumbnail and the initial animation of this video. And now you just have to apply the modifier. And now to make the material, you just have to go to the material preview and then let's add another window and go to the shader editor. And now click here on new and let's call this material skin. And now basically what you have to do is lower the roughness a lot, like 0.1, then give it whatever color. I saw in some documentaries they did this kind of color, but for the video we're copying right now, it was something like this, and then lower the saturation a little bit, something like this. And now they also added this special effect, which is the soft surface. Just leave it at random walk and then increase the weight to 1. And something that I did is setting all of these to 1 like this. And then I played with the scale and all that stuff. So this will look better on cycles. So let's go to cycles, experimental, GPU compute, activate denoise and 50 samples for the viewport. And now let's add some light. So let's add this light right here and put it behind our subject. Let's make it big. So something like a 0.5 of radius. I think that's good enough. And now let's increase the strength to 100. And now let's get close to here and let's activate the render view. So here, I don't know if you can see the effect. What the soft surface is doing, it's like when light passes through, it's looking like more thin, like the light is passing through. I guess you will see this better with the example I made for the first scene. So let's go here, let's get close, deactivate overlays. Let's see our shader editor right here. As you can see, is the same effects. And now let's activate render view. And yes, you can see here, like the light is passing through. Here is without it. As you can see, everything looks more hard, you know? And here it looks more like a yellow material or something like that. You can also see this on the scene I did for the thumbnail. As you can see, if you see here, it has this effect. So this is without the soft surface, and this is with the soft surface. Now let's quickly try importing the rigged character right here. As you can see, we have this. And now if we go to pose mode and then we activate fade geometry, we can start posing the character. Obviously, you also want to add the decimate modifier to this. So decimate modifier and 0.025 and shade flat. And now let's apply this. And it's pretty important that you apply the decimate modifier when you are doing animations, because if not, it's going to look super weird. So apply. And now, yeah, you can pose this character however you want and make animations with it, paste some mockup you have and all that stuff. Now I want to quickly show you how you can do this material transition right here, super similar to the one they did on the intro of the documentary. As you can see, it's going from this black to the original material we had, like this. And to do that, I'm going to start fresh with our original material. And now you just have to press Shift D and duplicate this. And now let's connect this right here. And let's make the zero saturation and also black or gray, something like that. And now let's increase the roughness right here. And yeah, I think this is good enough. Let's deactivate the subsurface. And now let's plug again this and let's press Shift A and add a mix shader right here. And let's connect this right here. Now I'm going to move this right here. And now let's connect the other principal BSDF to the second socket of the mix shader. And now we need something to control the transition between both materials. Right now it's just a slider, so 1 is the black material and 0 is this clay subsurface material. So to do that, I'm going to press Shift A and add a noise texture right here. And then I'm going to press Shift A and add a color ramp right here. Now I'm going to connect the color to the factor and the color ramp to this factor right here. And now if we move this closer, we are going to see that we are getting the effect we want, like this. And now we can control the scale right here. As you can see, if you increase the scale, it's going to look more random. But I guess the effect in the Cipher video was more something like this, maybe. Then let's reduce the detail a little bit. Let's increase the scale, then the roughness a little bit less. Let's reduce the lacularity and let's not add any distortion. And now this is roughly the effect we want. So if we move all of these right here, we are going to have almost a fully black material. So now you just have to select the color ramp and go to the timeline right here. And now here where it says pause, just press I while hovering over it and you will make a keyframe. And now let's go to the frame 60, for example, and let's move this all the way to 1 and then press I again. And now select the black value also. Go to the first keyframe and make another keyframe, but this time on the black value. Press I right here. Then go to the last one again and now increase this to 0.995 like this, so super close to the other value. And now press I again, and now you will have this transition right here. But as you can see, the edges of the transition is like super hard because this is super close. So what you can do is go to the middle of the animation, in this case the frame 30, and spread the values apart a little bit. So maybe something like this, and now press I, and now let's see how it looks. As you can see, the transition right here is a little bit softer. And now you can select all the keyframes and press T and linear, so they have a linear interpolation. And as you can see, it doesn't start right away, so you can just move the keyframes to the point where it starts and you'll have your transition right there. And now, if you see the Cipher video, you're going to see that in this point of the transition, you have like a lighter color. What you can do is add another mix shader before the original color, like this, and then add an emission shader right here, copy the value from the original color and make the strength like a 10, and now plug this right here. And now let's duplicate the color ramp like this. Let's connect the noise right here, and let's add again the color ramp into the factor. And as you can see, we added this color right here. So in this point of the tutorial, I forgot to say that you have to change the second color ramp from linear to constant. So right there where it says linear, you have to click it and then change it to constant, and it will give you a better effect. Now let's keep going with the tutorial. So now we have to do the same as we did before. Go to the beginning, and now the black value should be 0. Let's add a keyframe, and the white value should be something like this. Let's add another keyframe. Let's go to the frame 30. The white value should be 1, and the black value should be 0.995, like this, and then I again. Sorry, this should be in the frame 60 right here. And as you can see now, it's looking like this. We have this transition right here. And now if you want to manipulate how slow the animation is, you can just select both color ramps, select all of these, press T and linear again, and now you can press S and increase the time that it takes to finish the animation. And as I already told you, the animation doesn't start right away. So let's move the keyframes until you see some changes, somewhere like this. And now you have this, and it's slower. And you also have this effect right here, the part with the light and all that stuff. So that's how you do the material transition you saw at the intro of the documentary. So this is the final result. If you also want to learn how to animate characters with AI, watch this video next. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.